Good morning. It is me. It doesn't sound like me, but it is me. Good morning. I'm just looking at this verse at the end of what we were thinking about yesterday, which was about the um, mending of a new garment with old material, or the mending of an old material, um, and mixing the two just doesn't work. And the same about putting new wine into old wineskins. The old wineskins will perish and will deteriorate over time. And if you've got new wine, you want to put it in new wineskins. But then there's one verse at the end which I've never really ever heard anyone comment on, because it seems so odd. It seems to contradict what he's just said. I think what we've understood from what he said about not mixing the two, that the old has to be left behind and the new taken on board, that you don't mix the two. And then he says, and no one after drinking old wine desires new, for he says the old is good. Now, I don't know a great deal about wine because I'm not a wine drinker, but I understand that wine has to be kept for a period of time before it's even worth drinking. I don't know if this would have been true of the wine that they had back then. I don't know anything about the way that they made their wine. But I think what he's trying to say is here when he says, and no one after drinking old wine desires new, for he says the old is good. I think what he's trying to say here is, and he's speaking to the Pharisees who object to him not fasting as they did, and as John the Baptist did, and as the old covenant told people to do. And Jesus is saying to them, I know there are some of you who will not want to embrace the new, who will want to hang on to the old, because it has blessed you. It is a good way of life. You have been known God's blessing, and as God's people, he has cared for you under the old covenant, and you're not really looking for the new. And I think when he said this, he knew that there would be those who actually didn't want to let go of the old, who wanted to hold on to the old, even as they thought about the new. And having said to them, you can't really mix the two, you have to go for one or the other. Better to go for the new than the old. And Jesus had come with new teaching, a new understanding of God and who he was, new revelation, a new way to be forgiven, a new way, Jesus, the way, the truth and the life, the fulfillment of all the old, setting up a new covenant and a new relationship with people where the Holy Spirit lives inside, not coming upon people. And he knew that some of them would not embrace it. They would want to stick with the old. And indeed it was this reluctance, more than that really, this not wanting things to change, ultimately led to them trying to get rid of him. They did not want things to change. They liked what they had, and they wanted what they had. They did not want to change. And some people are like that. They do not want their lifestyle to change. And you can understand that, really. There are many people who, they have a circle of friends, they have places they go to, things that they do that they enjoy, and they know when they if they were to become a Christian, some of that would have to change. They would have to embrace new friends, new places to go to, new ways of doing things. And for some people, it's huge. It's too much, and they prefer the old. That's my thought for the day. Have a think about that verse. Read that verse in its context after those previous few verses, and just see what you make of it and what the Lord speaks to you about. But change is not always embraced by people. Change can be very difficult, and sometimes when the Lord challenges us about things that have been habits of a lifetime, we take a long time to realize that what he's getting at and what needs changing. But as we follow him, and we leave the old behind, just like the disciples. They left their fishing behind. Levi left his tax collecting behind and followed Jesus. And their whole life changed. And so Jesus is transformational. He changes everything. We're never the same after we meet with Jesus. We can't stay the same because he transforms us. He turns our world upside down. And we discover as we pursue the new way that it is far superior to the old way. And we're so glad in the end that we made the decision to follow him. Well, I hope you have a good day. God bless you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.